How's it gaming, guys? I'm Fill in the Blanks, and welcome back to Let's Play Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I strive to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. But how can a ray of light, of hope, reach this far down into the deep sea? Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. Yeah, if you're just sitting there counting seconds, it does feel like a long time. Oh, well, Jowd's dead. Up we go. I don't know how Sissel reached that, but that's not important, I guess. Detective Jowd. I bet that big masked man did this. I'm gonna fight him. You better not. You might break your teeth. The command room has lost power and is sinking. So I wonder what this masked man is going to do. Let's talk to Detective Jowd. Yep, makes sense. And you'll notice something. Someone also has a core, but we cannot reach them. So let's just talk to Jowd instead. Sorry for the wait, Detective Jowd. Who are you? Are you Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How is Camilla? What about Lynn? Well, it's kind of a long story. Not important to tell now, whatever. I told Detective Jowd about everything that happened in the submarine Yanoa. So the submarine is badly damaged? Why would he do that to his own submarine? I wish I knew. I know the answer. Oh, right, that's probably Man in Red. I know the answers to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Jowd. Are you Yomiel? I guess that's how you pronounce it. It's not like Yomiel, with the I and the E, so it's like Yomiel. I don't know. Oh, look at that. He's got his normal face on. So you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? So that's your real name, huh? Yomiel? That's right. Or wait, whoops, I mean, that's right. But those people on the Yanoa were calling you Sissel. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. It makes the plot of this game a little bit spicier. Could you do me a favor? To let me ask you some questions? Not now, man! I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you. Right, Detective Jowd? Right. About Yomiel. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know? Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers. Also, I think that this is Jowd's first time seeing Missile, so it's like, sure, there's a dog ghost. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into joining the project. Project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. It doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. Assuming he got paid pretty well considering the fancy clothes he wears. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I'd ever have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as a hostage. By the way, Detective Jowd, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomiel. And that sucks because it shows that he wasn't even a criminal until that all happened. 10 years ago. A meteorite hit me. Oh, no. My soul was split from my body, and I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. I existed in this world. No question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. I mean, I guess he was like just truly a ghost, right? What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. wanted to disappear. But I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. And I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And so that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them, but what would you get out of that deal? A new life? Life. I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was that they help me with my revenge plot. And the second was a rebirth from me. Rebirth? A new beginning, eh? I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul, a name, an identity, an everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. A completely man-made life. That's right. I know I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask a national government to help me. And the response in the end was betrayal. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Temsik was all about. You had no idea they were doing all this. None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go to all the trouble of making a deal with you? Why didn't they just steal a hunk of the Temsik meteorite from the park? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power. And Cabanela danced around. By Inspector Cabanela and that old pigeon guy, eh? At first, the government didn't believe the report. But then, they decided to put the park under surveillance just in case. Surveillance, huh? It just looks like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Why didn't anyone help Camilla? From a creepy man. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a plain old odd person. It would have been amazing if he was an undercover agent this whole time. That park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale. I mean, why didn't the government just take the meteorite and put it in a safer place than just the park? So that's why they couldn't steal the Temsik meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Temsik meteorite. Oh, there we go then. So that's it, eh? So the upshot of your grand deal was this, eh? Yeah, it's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. What's that? You've managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Jowd back to life, of course. What? What good will that do now? But we promised! We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla we'd save them! We can't do that without you, Detective Jowd. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. Whee! Almost the last time skip thingy. Almost! So, where are we headed? We are not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There was only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We will run out soon, and that will be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean that you're trapped here too. And for no real good reason, he's a robot. By the way, I am not human, Detective. But I play a mean b-ball. I am a remote control robot, Detective. What? Your country's use of technology is just played off. We get that a lot, Detective. Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? That's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Possibility? What are you talking about? There is no need for you to know, Detective. Here's a giant machine gun. Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. In the end, your fate remains the same as it seems. Detective, sorry about that. Grrr, Camilla, forgive me. Ow. Most of the deaths were definitely shootings in this. Holy nuts. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what that big masked man said? Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility. In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. The possibility of turning the situation around. Whee! But guess what? We can't really go anywhere. We can't reach anything. Huh? What is it, Detective? Look at Yomiel's shell. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Temsic fragment is gone. Could this change in his shell give us some kind of lead? It's the only thing we can reach, so let's do it. I figured it out. I know what this possibility, no matter how small, is that they're afraid of. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped thanks to the power of Temsic. His body cycles between the moments that separated his life and death. Right, but not anymore. The Temsic fragment has been taken away. Exactly. So what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the Temsic fragment was removed, my shell became a regular corpse. So, let's see. That means we can go back? Back to 4 minutes before your death? But wait a minute! Exactly when is that death? That's simple. We'll find out when we get there. Let's move. Here we go. The last rewind time of the game. To 10 years ago. I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever. And then I saw it. The final death at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? I've already seen all of the clues. All I have to do now is remember. The final journey to the truth starts now. And with that, guys, next chapter is the final chapter. We're going to do it. Who is Sissel? Was it all blabbity boobity blah? And will the girls actually get out of the submarine? I'm Phil in the Blanks. See you next level. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.